The Turks and Caicos Islands Ministry of Health, in collaboration with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, are encouraging members of the public to get vaccinated during this period in which countries all over the world celebrate Vaccination Week. Vaccination Week is done every year, the third week in April, to create awareness among parents and children concerning the importance of vaccination to prevent infectious diseases. And this year, organizers are focusing more on the educational sector, ensuring that our young people are disease-free and safe from potential illnesses. Primary Healthcare Manager Farida Hussein said they will be visiting schools all across the islands to give vaccinations. Hussein talked about the requirements for this procedure.
Procedure that we do use, we inform the principal of the school of the date that we'll be visiting the school, and they would in turn inform the parents. The children are being asked to walk with their immunization card, and the parents would give consent also for the children to be immunized.
But the highlight of this meeting involved recent news of an outbreak in Canada of the measles, where over 40 confirmed cases have been made, and 15 of those persons were not vaccinated or have ever been vaccinated. PAHO and WHO representative of the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands, Dr. Merle Lewis, suggested that this outbreak was the result of importation.
Even though it has not been confirmed to date, it is suspected that measles entered into this province in Canada through undetected importations during the Olympic and peri-Olympic period. So that is the hypothesis. So we need to appreciate two ways: that visitors and other people, if they are infected and come here and there are people in your country who are not protected, you have the potential for disease importation with subsequent transmission of that disease in your local population.
According to Dr. Lewis, the Caribbean has done a great job so far with eliminating vaccine-preventable diseases, but what is the current status of the Turks and Caicos Islands as far as successful vaccination numbers? Director of Healthcare of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Rufus Ewing, outlined those numbers.
We have been able to achieve greater than 100% immunization coverage in the vast majority of vaccine preventable diseases. However, we will not be complacent, because we know even though we have achieved greater than 100%, that is 100% of what we know in terms of the persons who are immunized. So it is always important, because what we do, we set a target group. We'll know the persons who are at risk, and we put together what we call a denominator, the number of persons who we know need to be immunized. And then once we reach that target, that means 100%. If we go above that target, we go greater than 100%.
There have been many cases where illegal immigrants have traveled here to the Turks and Caicos Islands on sloops. Most times, those persons are very likely to have been carriers of infectious and transmittable diseases from their country. For example, right now, hundreds of persons in the DR are suffering from a disease known as dengue fever, which is transmitted by mosquitoes and characterized by rashes and headaches and aching joints. To this end, the Ministry of Health is doing all it can to ensure the health of persons in this country.
However, but we are aware that there are individuals who reside in certain vulnerable populations. They may be illegal immigrants who may reside in the bushes and other places. And we're putting this week a program to go out into those communities to find out the immunization status of those individuals and immunize them. Because those individuals are at risk, and then they put the rest of the population at risk.
Home visits will also be made for those persons in the community who wish to be vaccinated during this week. Just contact the local clinics. All vaccinations are free of charge. For WIV4 News, I'm Amanda Miller.